Buckets, well, it don't matter what it is, if it's coming off the floor, it's inside base. So little tilt there, arms just connect you to it, push the floor down, remember, there. Then we're shifting the foot. Can I do the bigger ones? Doesn't matter whether I can or can't. We shouldn't be, but we will have to maneuver them. You might have to just turn them slightly to get their arm down to get it there, get the pins in. But again, putting the pins in, standing like, we're back to that position again, aren't we? Shifting these is pushing and pulling. Foot facing, two hands, manoeuvring it round, pulling it this way, pushing it that way. Always foot facing and two hands, guys. Please get out of this habit. That's the channel of your push or pull, feet facing that way. It's got to be a twist, it's got to hurt. Rubber bases, or inside or outside base. Outside both times. Oh, you know, while I'm on about this, it's a good tip. Anything that's long and on the floor, if you go to the middle, it's got to be outside base on it. But if you go to one end, it's inside base and you're only taking off the weight. And then what you can do, you can stand it up, pivot point in the middle, counterbalance it, put it over the shoulder. As long as you stay upright, cracking. If you start doing that, does that to your spine and that you jam straight out your donut. Too heavy, get assistance. But this stuff doesn't take any extra time, just to do all of that. And it's inside base. Shifting these fence panels, well, they're always going to be in a stillage and we're going to use the forks, your best mate again in it. But there are times we're going to have to manually lift them. But, do you know, again, hey, PPE, personal protective, look at this. The thing is, these get worn and battered and they stab you. And it doesn't matter if you stab them back, it don't hurt them, it hurts us though. So right PPE and be mindful of it. And if you go to a place and they spread all over the field, this ain't a one-man job, two people. Stop, phone it in, get some help. And when we are shifting it, the principles don't change, even though you got someone giving you, Ralphie, gives a lift. Again, outside base twist, 45-degree angle there, arms locked, ready to have drive, up there, pivot it round. And even when we're putting them in, none of that business there outside base, it's that business there. Let's just hold it back on, Ralphie. Inside the base there, drive, over, one end down, one end, always at a 45-degree angle. Well, taking these GTs off, first things first, guys, I mean, we're always presented with straight lines and we've got to kind of break those straight lines down, otherwise you're always lifting outside your base and, as I said, double the weight of it. So the first action here is a kind of a pulling action. You know, when we're talking about pulling and pushing, I tell you what, Fred, me and Fred's going to have a pushing competition. The size of him. Ready? Hands on shoulders. Okay, look at the position he's took up straight away. Now if I stood like that, I'd have, no, you stay where you are. If I stood like that, I've got no chance unless I headbutt him first. Because I've got no purchase. But if I'm like that, now we've got a competition. Ready, Fred? But just in case he beats me, we're best not do it. The size of it. Cheers, Fred. Guys, you do that if you ask for a pushing competition. Pulling and pushing these is the same. All I'm saying is have the foot facing and two hands on the object. So when you're pulling these across to you, you're in that position there, so you're pulling them across to yourself first. The worst thing to do is actually try and pick them up. So always avoid, just think of this one thing, guys, always avoid working with your feet in line. See it? But if you've got that foot forward, you can pull them towards yourself and the very next movement is going to be shifting the feet. So from there, if I'm pulling that, then I'm shifting the feet. And the same as when we're putting them down. You know, getting that foot forward, because it'll always go underneath that barrier. So what you're not doing is this, guys. Grabbing hold of them there, picking them up, moving and doing that business, or this business. And these are the light ones, but how many of these are doing per day, per week, per month? Can you imagine double the weight of them? That's gotta hurt. You know, some things we just take for granted, and it is handling the own body weight. Access and egress, well, we know this is 3 points of contact by now, but one of them is not the steering wheel, it moves. Just be mindful, conditions, remember, assessing the environment. You can take the slip hazard with you, stand on there, that slips away and you crack your shin wide open. 1, 2, 3. But I think one of the most dangerous things is the egress. Not so much what we're getting out into, but more what we're getting out onto. And I have a little phrase which works for me. Always look down before you step down, and you'll never ever fall down. And it's dead easy, you know. All right, 1, 2, 3. But if you just look where you're putting your foot, because there's always a pothole, a curb, a stone, and it's too easy to go over the ankle. And I tell you what, that hurts. And the PPE, nearly forgot it, didn't I? Believe it or believe it not, most accidents that's happening is out of these. Because we're in here, right? And then we do this, and then we're just jumping out. Jumping out onto uneven surfaces, and boom, over on the ankle. So guys, it's 3 points of contact, and it's looking down before we step down. And it works. Because you never ever fall down. What about taking stuff in and out the back of you? Well, a little rule of thumb, if you're putting something in, it's going in, you're not. If you're going in, it's not. In other words, when you're taking stuff in and out of here, always over base. Let's get it down there first. Let's put that in so you can still use the 3 points of contact for getting in and getting out. Don't go carrying stuff in or out. You're losing control, no 3 points, and then we are hurting ourselves. But batteries aren't all that easy because they're stuck in here. But again, there, that sticks and jams. There, it sticks and jams if you don't unlock it. I tell you, do you think they set me up, guys, or what? But it just goes to prove, even though things like that, I'm in the right position. Can you imagine if I was doing that? That would have gone then, wouldn't it? Now then, we've got the straps to pick the batteries out with. We'll get them little straps on. Can I get my fingers underneath? Yep. Is it going to nip and jam them? Yep. Look, there's the position there. Arms connected to it. Drive down with both feet, and that comes straight out. That's still connected. I'm not going to disconnect it all up just for this, but there, on the edge, then you could have hands underneath it like that, and away. But always check what PPE you should be using for handling batteries. Just get that out of there. That's that done. Shut her up properly. But again, look at the position I'm in. And shifting these as well. I've seen one of these, one hand on there, all the pressure's on one side. There, your pin's in. From that position there, push down. I can see where I'm going and drive. It's a wheelbarrow, it works. You don't do wheelbarrows with one hand, especially when we're going up on these trailers. Again, shifting these trailers with a jockey wheel. You know, winding these like this and you're doing it there. You know, let's get in that position there for winding them. Handbrakes is pushing and pulling there. They're never easy. And again, pushing and pulling this. Foot facing, two hands, and tip and drive to start the movement. What I'm not doing connecting up is that. Pull it that way or push it that way. Foot facing the direction, not twisting. Crackers. Do you know, again, you're never going to pick that up from the middle. Long objects, always at the one end. That's outside base, that's inside base. There, pushing it down. You can even get it to there, that position there. I'm here, look, I'm resting that on my thigh, I've got no weight whatsoever, and it's a dip and a drive. There. And what you can do is put it on the end. Flatbed, it's on the end. So then what you're doing is you go to the other end, you can pick that up and you can drive it on. You can either have one person each side. If it's too long, too heavy, you can't manage it, get some help. You're never ever taking the full weight of these, because one end's always in touch with something else. That's what we say, innit? There. Oh, just before you give me a bollocking, this is no longer a walkway, so we haven't blocked it. That's it there, all right. But look, cones again inside base there. What I think's not a bad idea, if we can actually stack them, say you're doing 2 at a time, stack them alternatively, because that there is a cracking handhold just to get whatever you want. But if they're not, it's 2 seconds to turn it that way. The big ones as well, like that. But you can get the big stacks, you know, that can go quite high. Turn it, palm of the hand underneath there, drive it like that, bring it down. You see how the principles are always working together. Always inside base, dip and drive. Loads and loads of best friends, aren't they? And we always saying wherever we can use them, but just be mindful of the fact that before you use that, you've got to be trained and authorised. Remember that team player, sorted, reported. Acro business. Well, straight away, this stuff is unforgiving. And most of the guys I've been saying, you know, they're getting it right. It's just 1 or 2 little tips. Like, for example, taking the stuff out of here. If I pick it up like that, it's right outside the base. It's going to be double the weight. And again, if we get this too close, we're doing that outside, twisting. Can you see it? So that's double. Can you imagine the weight of that? Well, you wouldn't shift double of it. If I said, right, do both of them out and you get the same pair, I know what the words would be. So let's make it half the weight. You know, just working in the corner there, you can get, look, right in the middle of it. And then if we're sticking them down here, just working from the corners there like that. Even there, starting in the middle, working your way around, and then coming from this side, working the way. It just takes all out weight off the back of the body, guys. You'd only want to shift this once, not twice, wouldn't you? Stillages, your straight line. So I'm going to be going like this, but look at it. So straight away with that distance I'm picking, you know, they're not that heavy, but we're going to get 3 or 4 of them, and all the pressure's on the back and then a twist. Working from the corner, just be mindful of the height. And you know what I mean by that, don't you? But from there, you can get it, and now I'm over base. You can also stick your hand down and grab a couple of bits and pieces, get them from here, 45-degree angle, it's here, there. Notice I picked all the light stuff. Let's have a look at this heavier bits. That's it. 3 times the weight of that, picked it up, carried it, because we can, because the body doesn't tell us it's wrong. But just by bringing that across to there, grabbing it from there, over the base, it's not about picking it up once, guys. You're going to get away with it. It's per day, per week, per month. 3 times the size of that, the weight of that, outside base and twist. Then that one, then that one, then that one. It's building up and up and up. Then all of a sudden, we'll sneeze, step off a curb or something, and go, whoa, me back. What? It's this stuff that does that. Here, inside the base, we covered this earlier, didn't we? Only here it's bigger and harder, isn't it? You know, look at that, eye level. First thing you've got to be mindful of there. But you've got to get in here because you've got to get over base there. And you can bring it out to the ends, so you've done it in stages. So then from there, over base, boom. Getting it back on there, put it on first, then we can shift it down. Do you know when you've got all the chains on, it's like trying to drag the chains and now pull the chains over first, get it where you want it to be, then over base, put one there, then shift. 3 steps. Humans, we don't like, it's a shortcut that we're going to take, and I tell you what, it's always a shortcut to an injury. The props, straight line again, innit? What are we doing there? Outside base, heavy item, on the back, and then a twist. Look at one end, into the middle, point of balance, and then away. Sticking them back, get one end down. No longer got the weight of it. You can, if you want, just to kick from there and then drop it, but all the time you're dropping these, you're damaging them. You know, so putting them down. This one here, normally, that'll be in that position there like that. So we grab it and it's stuff we're doing and getting away with, but you're not going to later on. Pull it, foot facing, there. Now because it's right close to us, pivot point there, I've only got half the weight, look there, counterbalance it, look for the natural pivot point, putting it down. One end first, then over there. Do you know what? When you're putting long item down, if you do that, see the twist, to get out of that, all you got to do is shift that foot that way and do that. Simple, but bloody effective. Light frames, now double the weight, heavy frames. And what happens if they just stick or jam? And it's just dead simple there. There. It's all a case of, again, one end down. It's looking for those natural pivot points. And people who work in this system, in this industry, nearly always get it right because they do look for the natural pivot points. We've just got to do it all the time. Handling these struts, well, we are outside, all weathers. Icy, slippy, wet. These get slippy as well. That is outside base, carrying the... They're heavy enough. By getting the foot down there, you've got an inside base. But it's got to be 2 guys to do this. Rodney. He's going to chuck it now, isn't he? Ready? Inside the base there. And then inside the base there. That's it. Just mind the fingers, you might want to shift your hands. Now, instead of trying to do that, just pull it forward. Roll it down, Ralph. There, and from there, and in. Yeah, fingers. Next one, roll it down. Get hold of it, there we go. And in there, fingers. Cheers, Ralphus. Doesn't take any extra time, guys, but what? I can't bang that drum enough. I now repeat myself, inside or outside base, huge pressure difference. Jet washing, well, again, it's all about the stance, because if I'm standing like that and doing this is quite weighty, and you've got all the pressure as well, 1,000 bar on this, and twisting with it, it's just all about having that foot forward and working with it. I think the key here is, if your feet are still, you're going to be twisting. If your foot's moving, you're going to be turning. But I haven't got the right PPE, and I haven't got my wets, I haven't got the full visor, therefore, I can't do it. And that's all about that P and pass, isn't it? PPE. It's up to me to make sure I've got it because it's protecting me. A, assessing the environment, weather, terrain. But you know what really makes that easier is a tidy site. And what a tidy site this is at Liverpool. Absolutely bang on, lads, well done. The first S, you see something wrong, sort of report it, and they're obviously doing that here. And the final S is all of these tasks have a safe systems work. We just need to know it and follow it. As far as the lifting is concerned, guys, what are we talking about here? A couple of simple principles. Always make sure you're inside the base and not outside. Break that straight line down. Either step over it bring the item over it, but never ever lift over it. And when you're talking about things like this, two people, you know what? We don't get any extra pay for being macho. If there's someone there to give you a hand, let's get them to give you a hand. Picking from the floor using their big engines, pushing the floor down, arms only connect you to it, which leads nicely into shift the foot. The rule of thumb is, if the foot's moving, then we're turning. If the feet are still, we're twisting. Pushing and pulling, foot facing, two hands, and dip and drive to start that movement. And don't forget the first rule, always use your best mates when you've got them. Because these are natural movements. And if we can just think of this over the next couple of weeks, hang on a minute, now that's outside, I'll get it inside. Do you know it's going to become a matter of habit? So we get a good habit instead of a bad one. And the pressure on the body is massively reduced. Therefore, the risk of injury to us is equally massively reduced. And do you know what? It's not all about work, is it? Take these principles home and we will be right. See ya.